From Los Angeles to a worldwide audience, this is Boaz Power TV, where we take your life to the next level. Now, internationally known speaker and author, here's Boaz.
Hi, welcome to the Power Show. You are part of the Power Nation, and I'm so glad you're here. Because here we help you to improve your attitude, your relationships, your finances, and your career as we take your life to the next level. And as I teach seminars in seminars all over the world to help people improve their attitude, when people ask you, how's life, how's business, use one word with enthusiasm: unbelievable. Nobody will know what you're up to, but they'll think you're doing great. This is episode number 264 on Boaz Power TV, and I call this one, How Much Anger Is This Worth? At a certain week a while back, I conducted 3 different seminars in the Toronto area. I've been there numerous times and always enjoy traveling to Canada. I've been treated very warmly and graciously by our wonderful neighbors to the north. Now, the first leg of my flight was to Denver on a full-size jet plane. As I got my ticket at the airport, the lady at the counter added the red priority tag to my bag. After all, I'm a 100,000-mile-plus flyer with that particular airline. Thus, for one of their more frequent flyers, this airline tag on my bag is there so that it's handled a little more carefully, and I appreciate that. The second leg of my flight was from Denver to Toronto on a regional jet. Those are the smaller planes that are used on routes that don't have enough customers to warrant a larger plane. When I arrived in Toronto and had gone through customs, I waited for my suitcase at baggage claim. When many of the other customers had picked up their bags, it was obvious that mine was missing. I went to the baggage desk and asked what happened. The gentleman checked his computer and told me that my bag, due to weight restrictions on the smaller jet out of Denver, had been left in Denver and would arrive the next day. Did anybody notice the red priority tag on my bag? Was my question. Apparently not, was the clerk's response. Well, I could feel a bunch of inner resentment welling up in me. Didn't they realize that I fly more miles with that airline than the majority of their customers? Didn't they know that I had a bunch of my CDs in the bag and that I needed those CDs for the people coming to my 2 seminars the very next day? Then it hit me. Just when I thought that I was so important, I also thought about choices. What if they had placed my bag on board my plane and left someone else's bag in Denver? What if that someone else was an elderly person and some of that person's medications were in the bag that was left behind? A sense of guilt came over me and I felt ashamed for thinking I was so important. I left the address of where I was going to be speaking the next day with the clerk at the baggage desk and asked that my bag be delivered there when it arrived the following morning. The next day, I conducted a seminar in the morning and another one in the afternoon. The bag did not show up. Thus, I did not have the CDs I needed to distribute to the participants of those events. That evening, even though the airline had promised, the bag did not show up at my hotel. It was the second day of my visit that I finally got it. It had been delivered to the wrong hotel. When I'm traveling, I usually do events each day and rarely have a day between events when nothing is scheduled. That's exactly what I had the second day of my Toronto visit. I had an unusual day off. Thus, since I had the time, I decided to deliver the CDs to the leaders of the 2 groups. I also decided how much value to give to my anger about the foul-up with the suitcase. I chose not to give it any value at all. I had a free day to take care of the CDs. I got to drive around Toronto without being rushed. I noticed some beautiful buildings that lined the highways in that city. I got to think about the fact that it was fine for my bag to be left behind once in a while. After all, it rarely happened to me. So was it really worth getting upset about? I decided it wasn't. If there was an elderly person on that flight, I would rather they took that person's bag and left mine. You know, we all have moments Well, we could easily get upset about something. If we can't really change what happened, then shouldn't we simply focus on what we can do about it at the moment? I've started to pretend that a moment of anger now is taking a moment away from the end of my life. May I suggest that when we get upset about something, we ask the following question: how much anger is this worth? How much anger is this worth? So here's the affirmation for this episode of Boaz Power TV. It is a calm and peaceful affirmation. I stay calm and peaceful during challenging times. If this is something you can use, you might want to write it down and read it the first thing every morning and the last thing every night for at least 30 days. I stay calm and peaceful during challenging times or during challenging moments. Thank you for joining me. If you feel these are beneficial, these messages on Boaz Power TV, please forward this to someone you know. Suggest they go to my website, boazpower.com, where they can also subscribe to the free weekly broadcast on Boaz Power TV. You are special, you are unique, you are destined for greatness, and I believe you are a calm and peaceful person. After all, I see it in you. You are a champion. Have a powerful day.
This has been Boaz Power TV. To comment, see other episodes, or to subscribe to this free broadcast, go to our blog at boazpower.com. That's boazpower.com. We're here to take your life to the next level.